Hello everybody, this is Kyle out of course for Draft Radio doing another beautiful M15 draft. So excited that this is up on Untap. I just spent today getting beaten by Ornithopter Convoke, so gotta love moments like that in Magic, although the deck that we were up against was pretty sweet. We've got a nice first pack. Venom Sliver is up for consideration, as is Welkin Turn, Heat Ray. However, the best card in the pack is obviously the Aegis Angel, and that's what we're going to be taking. 6 mana 5/5 flyer, and it, grants another target permanent indestructible. Does not get much better than that, so that's what we're going to be taking. Alright, another interesting pack. We've got a Child of Night, Torchfiend, both of cards I like. There's also a Gravedigger and a Plummet. But I think the pick for us is going to be a Resco Swiftclaw. I'd like to stick on the white plan as much as humanly possible, and so that's what we're going to be grabbing. So, a Resco Swiftclaw it is. This is interesting. There's a Furnace Whelp, Blood Host, which is a card that I've heard a lot of good stuff about. But there's also a Divine Verdict in the pack, Furnace Whelp, Blood Host, and Gravedigger. I'm just going to pass. You grab this Divine Verdict. We've been shipping a decent amount of black, and I'd like to stay on color. There's also a Kinsbell Skirmishers, which apparently everybody really likes in this format. But we're taking the Divine Verdict. Interesting. So our white essentially dried up a little bit. Sungrace Pegasus is pretty wussy, I'm not going to lie. But there's an Altac Bloodseeker, which just seems awesome. But there's also a Centaur Courser and a Siege Worm. And I think the best card in the pack is the Siege Worm. I could be wrong about that. Altac Bloodseeker is a card that a lot of people have been raving about online. Louis Scott Vargas in particular said that this thing is a nightmare. But I'm going to take the Siege Worm. Siege Worm seems like the card that I want to take. So that's what we're grabbing. Convoke seems pretty good in this format. Although that is a really late Flesh to Dust, so no good black, no good green. I mean, Hunt the Weak is okay, I guess. But we're taking the best card in the pack, which is Flesh to Dust. So makes me a little bummed that we passed so much black. But, you got to take the best card of the pack. Got to take the best card out of the pack. I really like this set so far. It still feels a little Yu-Gi-Oh-ish to me. Oh, something happened. Hold up, guys. Alright. The set, as I was saying, guys, sorry about that. The set still feels a little Yu-Gi-Oh-ish to me. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's not something that I want for Magic. Let's see, there's a Gather Courage, which is pretty good, an Overwhelm, a Netcaster Spider, which I like quite a bit. There's also another Kinsbell Skirmisher, which does put us on the aggressive plan. I think the two best cards in the pack are Willforged Golem and Netcaster Spider, and I'm just going to take the Golem. Keeps us out of a color as long as possible, which I don't mind. Yeah, not bad. Not a bad start. I like having Divine Verdict. I like having Willforged Golem. Resco Swiftclaw is good. I think with as much Convoke as in the set, we should probably start prioritizing 2-drops. So maybe I should have taken the Skirmisher. Although it's sort of like a catch-22, in all honesty, because if you take the 2-drops that you'll need, you're passing good Convoke cards. But if you take the good Convoke cards, you're passing the 2-drops. So I don't know. Maybe the best idea is to alternate between them. So. I'm just trying to check this a little bit. Sorry, guys. I'm like reading this chat because I'm a little worried something went wrong with our draft. Sure. All right. So we got it. We actually have to kick somebody. Sadly, they're taking a little too long, but that's okay. And this is the problem with running a draft. Sometimes you just... Oh, it's not letting us kick him? Let's refresh this and see what happens. Huh. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Strange things are afoot. It's not letting me kick him, which is odd. Maybe you can't kick people in between packs. Yeah, generally speaking, you try and kick people that are taking a little too long in the picks. Although I try really hard not to do that. You give people the benefit of the doubt. I'll be honest, I wait like a whole pack almost between that, but we're about 7, 8 picks in, so don't feel so awful about it. But oh, so he just dropped anyway, so it's all good. Huh. What am I hoping for, I guess? Oh, well, some signals. Living Totem is insane. Overwhelm is insane. Nessian Courser, but there's also a Gravedigger and a Necrobite. See, I don't know. Courser's pretty awesome. I mean, Gravedigger's good too, but Courser's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'll take the Courser. I mean, there seems to be a lot of green in that pack, and we did ship a lot of black. Seriously, guys, why are you passing Grind Clock? Grind Clock is just an awesome alternate win condition, so that's what we're playing. Grabbing that bad boy. We'll take a Plummet too. Plummet's not terrible. Ooh, Runeclaw Bear is good. There's also an Unmake the Graves, which is going to look really good in that black deck, but we need 2 drops, both because we're looking to be a little more on the aggressive side and to get our Siege Worm out. All right, well, there is that Gravedigger, so maybe black is still in contention. If we hide the Plummet, we've got a Courser, a Runeclaw Bear, and a Siege Worm versus a Flesh to Dust and a Gravedigger. So, you know, either way, it doesn't really matter. Pretty excited about this so far. Wow, the Altac Bloodseeker wield. Holy crap. But we're just going to take Gather Courage. That's a really late Nimbus of the Isles, but 2 Gather Courage isn't bad. I'm probably not going to be playing red, though. Okay, so nice. Double nice. We got a Scuttling Doom Engine. I think that's going to be the pick that we take. I mean, there's some other stuff in the pack that's decent. I mean, Midnight Guard is fine. Garrick's Pack Leader is probably the second best card. Undergrowth Scavenger seems okay as well. I mean, he's not a 4-drop, but you can just generally you're going to want to wait and play him on like turn 5 or turn 6 to get some real value out of him. But he's not so bad. But Scuttling Doom Engine is Scuttling Doom Engine, so that's what we're taking. The card is insane. That's a Soul of New Phyrexia. Alrighty then. That also seems insane. Well, our 6-drop bombs are insane. That seems sweet. I don't know if I can pass that. I mean, the next best card is Stab Wound and then probably Gargoyle Sentinel, but we're taking the Soul of New Phyrexia. Alright. Good job, everybody. That was sweet. We got 3 huge 6-drop bombs. I'm really happy about all of that. This pack is interesting. We've got a Typhoid Rats, we've got a Necromancer's Assistant, and we have a Carrion Crow. I'm still not convinced that I'm going to be playing green. I mean, I might not even be playing white, in all honesty. I think the best card in the pack is either the Crow or the Necromancer's Assistant, and I'm leaning towards Crow. Evasion just is better, generally, than everything else, so that's what we're taking. There's also a Heat Ray, but I don't need a Heat Ray, and an Invasive Species, too. A Hoarding Dragon is sweet. Well, something is gone horribly awry here, but we're taking the Flesh to Dust, as it is a good bomb. There's also a Wall of Mulch. Again, white doesn't seem to be doing too much for us right now, which is a little sad. But I could be in black-green, now that I'm looking at it. I mean, if I hide these 2 Gather Courages. We could take Runeclaw Bear, we could take Bloodhost. I'm probably just going to take Kinsbell Skirmisher. Regardless of what happens, I'd like to have at least 2 or 3 good 2-drops, so... And I think I'm playing white, so I'm just going to grab the Skirmisher. That is an Accursed Spirit. And that's, I think, what we're going to be taking. I mean, nice little 4-drop. Got some good evasion. Certainly a good card. There's also a Bronze Sable, a Sign in Blood, Krenko's Enforcer. This is a decent pack still. But taking the awesome Accursed Spirit. Gargoyle Sentinel is what we're going to be taking. Good 3, like a 3/3 for 3 is good, and then if we need to drop the defense, we can drop the defense, and it becomes a flyer. So I like that quite a bit. And we even have a white-black split land to help us out. I mean, there's also a Living Totem and Netcaster Spider, both of which I think are great cards, but we'll take the split land. I think at this point I'd like to be white-black. I think that that's where we're leaning. In which case, Ephemeral Shields is better than Hunt the Weak, so we're going to grab the Ephemeral Shields. We get a second Gravedigger, which is going to be nice because that's going to let us bring back our sweet bombs. I'm going to hide this green stuff real quick. So Gravedigger it is. Typhoid Rats is good. Helps us shore up our early game, which is something that this deck I think is going to need. So happy to see that. Then there is a Rogue's Gloves, which I think is what we're going to be taking. There's also a Mind Sculpt, but I'm not too worried about that. So Hunter's Ambush, I guess, because it's not as crappy as killing a defender. Yeah, not so bad so far. I mean, we teetered for a little bit. We were getting past a lot of good green stuff, so I don't feel so bad about. Yeah. So Foundry Street Denizen. I mean, I'm surprised Altac Bloodseeker wheeled. I mean, this is a great card. I mean, normally you're okay with playing a 2/1 for 2 anyway. And then on top of that, like if you kill something with removal, like if you break a blocker or something like that, it becomes just insane to block. Yeah, I like where we're going though. We've got decent stuff. I mean, we've got like 1 or 2 good 2-drops. Grind Clock's a nice alternate win condition. Some evasive flyers. Yeah, it's not bad. Certainly not bad. Who are we waiting on? Oh, I don't know. It's the next pack. Well, let's see here. I think there's an Illusionary Angel, which looks really good. If you're in blue, Black Cat, which is meh. This pack is overall pretty weak. Probably the best cards in here are Illusionary Angel, Borderland Marauder, Willforged Golem, Void Snare. We're just going to take Polymorphous Jest. There's absolutely no way I'm letting this card wheel. And the rest of this is just insane. The rest of this is just not that good, and this card absolutely wins entire games. This is the definition of a bomb. And there's nothing else in our colors to risk passing this. So generally, I hate drafting. I think it's like the dumbest thing in the world. It's just not a good. It's not a good better business practice when you're drafting, and B, it generally tends to hurt you more than anything else. But that card actively just beats our entire bomb heavy deck, and that's just not something that I want to have happen. So. There's a Carrion Crow, a Child of Night. I think I'm just going to take the Divine Verdict. You can never really have too much removal, so that's what we're taking. Bummed that I'm passing these 2 cards as they're decent, but not as good as a Divine Verdict. There's a Necrogen Scudder, another Caves of Koilos, which is cool. I'm probably going to take Scudder. A 3-mana 3/3 flyer for 3 is just awesome. Even if you are losing 3 life. It's not bad, and I'd rather have this than have Necrobite. And Carrion Crow, I think, is close to Necrogen Scudder, but Scudder is awesome and good, and that is a nightmare. So 90% of the time, this is what? Going to be like a 6-mana 4/4, a 6-mana 5/5 with flying? Yeah, I buy that. That's fine. That seems good. Draw a card. If the discard a creature card, draw a card. If the discarded card was a zombie... this seems bad in our deck. This seems really bad. Crippling Blight seems fine, I guess. I'd rather just have Necromancer's Assistant, though. Yeah, my 3-drop slot needs a little beefing up, and I don't really need the zombie card. Rotfeaster Maggot is not what this deck is looking to play. Ornithopter, Living Totem. I mean, the best cards in the pack are Ancient Silverback, Wall of Frost, and Living Totem. I'm just going to take Silverback. I'm not going to play these other ones, and I've already got too many playables, and Silverback is another card that kills me. Yikes, there are no playables. Alright, we'll take Welcome Turn, I guess. Come on. I don't want to have to hate draft this much. I hate drafting. It's just bad. It's just terrible practice. Avarice Amulet is not that great. I will take a Willforged Golem, though. And I'll take a Black Cat. If for nothing else, then for the Convoke. definitely going to get some Convoke out, so Black Cat is good. And we wield our Child of Night. And we wield our Carrion Crow. Miner's Bane is bad. Wall of Mulch is meh, but Centaur Courser is good. And I'm happy taking another Ephemeral Shields and a Rummaging Goblin. Awesome. This is a sweet, sweet build. I'm going to grab our untap right now so we can just jump right on into it rather than have to wait. It looks like the last couple people are still finishing up their picks, which is good. Now we got to go and find an awesome name. I think Jank Fiction is pretty decent of a name. Do they speak English in Jank? Jank ain't no country I ever heard of. That was my terrible Samuel L. Jackson impression. Samuel L. Jackson, if you're watching this, I apologize. That was not nearly up to snuff. Alright, let's save this bad boy. See what is cooking. Alright, we've got 13 cards in the sideboard. Sometimes they do weird things and stuff ends up in our sideboard that shouldn't be. Okay, so nothing's bad in the sideboard. We've got 2 Flesh to Dusts, 2 Divine Verdicts, 2 Ephemeral Shields. I'm not playing the Centaur Courser. See, this is what I mean. Sometimes untap will do weird stuff like put a green card in my deck, which I don't want. I don't need. Alright, so we've got 18, 22, 25, 27. We just have to cut 4 cards. Well, that will be super easy. I think we can just cut 1 Ephemeral Shield. Probably can cut both Ephemeral Shields. Yeah, we cut 2 Ephemeral Shields, and that means we just cut it down to 2 cards. Yeah, because that's 21, 23, 25. Yeah, we just have to cut 2 cards. I probably want to cut something in the higher end of my curve. I'll probably cut a Willforged Golem. Cut 1 Willforged Golem and then cut Rogue's Gloves. Or maybe what I want to do, since I have so many 2-drops. And by so many 2-drops, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I want to cut Nightmare and leave the other Soulforged Golem in there. Is that better or worse? I don't know. In all honesty, I really don't know. You know what? You know what? Come to think of it, I actually think I am going to cut Nightmare. I'm going to cut Nightmare and I'm going to put both of our Soulforged Golems back in the deck. So I think that's going to be good. This deck does appear to be pretty heavy black. So what we're going to do, there are 16 lands, so I'm going to run what's going to be probably 9 Swamp, 6 Plains, and then Caves of Koilos. Or I could run 8 Swamp, 8 Plains, Caves of Koilos. That would be decent too. You know, it's really one of those things that I'm not sure how I want to proceed. We're going to put Nightmare into our sideboard, as well as 1 Plains, 1 Swamp, 1 Rogue's Gloves, just basic stuff. Yeah, so I think the main thing that we want to do, and we need 2 Soulforged Golems. How do I spell that? That's a good question. I swear, in the end, strategy isn't my biggest enemy. My biggest enemy in Magic is, in fact, spelling and math. Spelling and math, man, I tell you what. 2 worst things in Magic for me. It's Willforged Golem. See, I knew I was going to butcher that. Willforged Golem is the card that we're looking for. And you know what? Come to think of it, I am going to do 9 Swamp and 6 Plains. Well, no, because most of my 2-drops, actually, now that I think about that, most of my 2-drops are white. Or 2 of my 2-drops are white. 2 of them are black. Do I have any double black cards? I have 1 double white card. You know, maybe I just do want to just do 8 and 8. Yeah, we'll do 8 and 8. We'll do that. 8 Swamp. 8 Plains. Save the deck. Doesn't seem so bad. Perfect. Alright. Well, guys, as always, I will see you in round 1. I think our deck looks pretty strong, but hopefully it does as well as I would like it to do. All right, guys, take it easy, and as always, I will see you in round 1.